Once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fifth week of our free BRCGS certification familiarization training. I'm Jezreel from the Customer Success Team at Consultare Inc. Group. Last week, we covered management review as required under BRCGS Clause 1.1.4 within senior management commitment and continual improvement. During that session, one of our participants raised this question. In the annual review meeting, does every specific department present their own updates or does QA handle everything? To clarify on this, under BRCGS Clause 1.1.4, the QA or management team is responsible for leading and coordinating the management review. However, each department, such as production, engineering, maintenance, warehouse, and HR, must present its own performance and updates. As outlined in Clause 1.1.5, this approach ensures that all relevant inputs are reviewed and discussed. QA's role is to facilitate the process and compile the overall results, while departments are accountable for presenting their respective areas. Another question raised was if one or more nonconformities or NCs from an internal audit were found not to be closed, what steps should be taken? In this case, if any NCs remain open, the site must conduct a root cause analysis, implement and verify corrective actions, and escalate the issue to management review in accordance with BRCGS clauses 1.1.4 and 3.4.4. We hope that this has provided clear answers to your questions. Now let's proceed to today's topic, where we will focus on communication meetings in line with BRCGS Food Safety Clause 1.1.5. This requirement emphasizes that senior management must ensure effective communication on food safety, legality, and quality throughout the organization, and that relevant information is shared across all levels and departments. Understanding and implementing this requirement helps maintain alignment between teams, ensures that key issues and improvements are communicated promptly, and promotes a culture of transparency and continual improvement within the site. By the way, this free training is sponsored by Consultare Inc. Group, a compliance company. Founded in 2007, we began by assisting businesses with U.S. import and export compliance and have since evolved into global provider of food safety, quality, and certification support. Today, our services revolve around compliance management software, specialized training, and end-to-end support services that help organizations achieve and maintain compliance with international standards. Through our platform, interlinkiq.com, we offer an integrated compliance management system that streamlines documentation, monitoring, and audit readiness. We also provide dedicated compliance and certification support programs for FSVP, PCQI, SQF, PRCGS, FSSC 22000, ISO 9001, GMP, and HACCP, helping businesses strengthen their regulatory compliance, enhance operational efficiency, and ensure alignment with global food safety and quality management standards. Now let's take a look at our training schedule. This week, we will focus on the communication meetings as outlined in BRCGS Clause 1.1.5. Gaining a clear understanding of this requirement is essential to achieving and sustaining your BRCGS certification goals. In today's session, we will begin by familiarizing ourselves with the BRCGS Clause 1.1.5 communication meetings. We'll start with a clear description of the requirements, followed by a walkthrough of the compliance action activities or your scheduled tasks carried out on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and semi-annual basis to ensure ongoing certification readiness. We will also discuss the importance of the annual review and internal audit activities, which serve as checkpoints to verify the effectiveness of the program and maintain continuous improvement. During the training, you will have the opportunity to ask questions and clarify any requirements related to implementation. Simply type your questions in the chat box and we will address them during next week's session as we did today. As part of this training, you can access a free 90-day trial of our BRCGS certification management software. This tool helps streamline compliance tasks, assign accountability, and keep audit-ready records. It's also a great way to prepare for BRCGS certification, as many participants use it to get familiar with the BRCGS standards and practice spotting compliance gaps before an official audit. And finally, upon completion of this training, each participant will receive a familiarization training certificate. To ensure that you receive your certificate, please make sure that you have filled up the free certification familiarization training sign up form that we shared in the chat box. On the screen, you will see a sample of the familiarization certificate that you will receive upon completing each session. With that, let's move forward to our training session where we will be working directly with the BRCGS compliance management system software. Now let's start by going over the description of the requirements for BRCGS 1.1.5 communication meetings. Please take a look at the description on the screen. It says, the site shall have a demonstrable meeting program that enables food safety, authenticity, legality, and quality issues to be effectively raised and communicated to senior management. This meeting shall occur at least monthly and ensure that key compliance and performance topics are consistently reviewed, discussed, and acted upon to drive continual improvement across the site. Now, you may update or edit the description as needed, for example, to reflect any revisions when new BRCGS editions are released. To implement this requirement, the action items are outlined in the Compliance tab. This section helps food safety and quality team leader and site technical or quality manager by organizing tasks according to their frequency, whether they are performed daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual. So here are some examples of your compliance action items to comply with the communication meetings requirement. For your daily activities, this involves collecting and logging issues raised by either the production or QA staff during daily operations, record any food safety, authenticity, legality, or quality incidents in a logbook or system to be raised in the next meeting. Ensure urgent issues are escalated immediately to line managers and QA before the next formal meeting. And for your weekly activities, this includes the QA or the practitioner checks progress of previous meeting action items with responsible owners. Next is to gather key information for reporting, such as CCP monitoring deviations, internal audit findings, customer complaints or feedback, or supplier performance issues, and draft a summary of food safety or quality issues for the upcoming monthly meeting. For the quarterly activities, this includes reviewing patterns from the last 3 months for complaints, nonconformities, recalls or withdrawals, incidents, or effectiveness of corrective actions, and staff training records and gaps. Assess if meeting frequency, participation, and agendas are effective or need adjustments. Engage senior management to align meeting outputs with business goals such as new products, regulatory changes, or market risk, and ensure meeting records and action logs are complete and easily retrievable for auditors. For the biannual activities, this include summarized outcomes for communication meetings as evidence for the senior management review under BRCGS 1.1.4. Ensure that the documented meeting program remains aligned with the BRCGS requirements, at least monthly meetings and full scope covered. Assess effectiveness of communication meetings and propose improvements like better escalation, wider participation, or the use of a digital dashboard, and provide refresher and training to staff on the importance of food safety communication and reporting culture. So basically, this serves as a checklist of compliance activities that you need to perform. You can either add your own compliance action items, or we can preload all the required activities for you to perform. Now, to complete these activities, we provided corresponding work instructions and compliance activities in the instructions and evidence section. So it comes along the required artifacts or records that needs to be completed to document compliance to the requirement. So for example, to complete the action item which states that collect and lag issues raised by production or QA staff during daily operations, let's take a look at the instructions on how to accomplish or perform this. So first, you need to conduct routine food safety walkthroughs across production area. This includes performing scheduled daily or shift-based food safety walkthroughs with within the production, packaging, and storage area to observe conditions, behaviors, and GMP compliance. So the artifacts and records that involved in this step are your daily food safety walkthrough checklist or your lag sheet, the GMP inspection forms or audit checklist, or photographic evidence if applicable and approved, and walkthrough schedule and assigned personnel list. Next is to collect and record staff reported issues or observation. So this involves documenting all food safety, quality, or hygiene concerns raised by production or QA staff during the walkthrough, ensuring accurate logging of the date, location, description, and the person reporting. So you need to have your food safety issue log or observation register, employee feedback form or verbal report documentation, walkthrough observation notes with responsible department tags, and verbal to written communication log to or for informal reports. Next is to review and categorize reported issues for action planning. Um, this involves reviewing the collected feedback to categorize the issue based on housekeeping, equipment hygiene, past or pest risk, and documentation gaps, and assign them to the responsible departments for corrective action. So the artifacts and records involved in this step are your categorized issue tracker or NCR summary, assigned action list with responsible persons and due dates, root cause or risk classification record, email or memo communications confirming task assignment. The next step is to verify corrective action, implementation, and close out. So this involves follow-up on all lagged issues to ensure corrective actions are implemented promptly, verified for effectiveness, and documented for traceability. The artifacts and records that needs to be completed are close issue lag with verification date and sign off, corrective action reports or CAR, or follow-up checklist, verification record or re-walkthrough notes, and management review summary of recurring or unresolved issues. And finally, the last step is to retain and review feedback records for continuous improvement. You need to file all walkthrough feedback records systematically and review periodically to identify recurring issues and improvement opportunities, integrating findings into food safety meetings or management reviews. So the artifacts and records that needs to be provided or completed are the filed and controlled food safety walkthrough lags, trend analysis or summary report for management review, internal audit report, referencing feedback management, and continuous improvement plan updates. Now let's check an example of an evidence of compliance to perform or to complete this action item. So in this case, we've uploaded a sample the record, which is communication meeting lag. So let's open this up. This document demonstrates that issues raised by production and QA staff during daily operations are formally recorded and assigned for action, monitored and verified for closure. It reflects the it reflects that effective communication channels are in place across departments to ensure that operational issues are promptly addressed, accountability is maintained, and continual improvement is supported. For example, on October 21st, the production department reported temperature deviation in the cold storage with a reading of 8 degrees Celsius or 46.4 Fahrenheit instead of the standard, which is less than or equal to 5 degrees or 21 degrees Fahrenheit. So the issue was assigned to the maintenance supervisor who inspected and recalibrated the temperature control system. Then after that, QA later verified that the temperature stabilized at 4.5 degrees Celsius or 40.1 degrees Fahrenheit, and the issue was marked closed, demonstrating timely communication, corrective action, and verification. So this is just an example of an evidence of compliance for your action items or for the completion of your action items. Your goal is to complete all compliance action items and provide supporting evidence, turning every no into yes to ensure full audit readiness. So these documents can also be retrieved and presented during an actual audit as proof of compliance. Next, let's go over to the annual review tab, which also serves as your internal audit checklist. This is presented in the form of questionnaire aligned with the BRCGS standard. So it lists all the required annual review items to help you maintain compliance with 1.1.4 communication or 1.1.5 communication meetings under BRCGS standard. So under the annual review items, you can see assessment questions such as, does a facility have a documented meeting program that specifies monthly meetings? Another assessment question is, have meetings occurred every month in the past 12 months without gaps? Is there evidence that rescheduled meetings were conducted within the same month if a session was missed? Do meeting agenda consistently include food safety? Do meeting agenda consistently include product authenticity? Do meeting agenda consistently include product legality, like compliance or regulations? Do meeting agenda consistently include product quality? Are industry alerts, customer issues, and supplier concerns included in the agenda when relevant? Do senior managers regularly attend these meetings? Are meeting attendees from all relevant departments like QA, production, engineering, procurement, and others? Are action items from meetings communicated clearly to responsible staff? Is there a process for escalating unresolved issues to higher management? Are meeting minutes recorded for every meeting? Do the minutes include attendance, discussion, and action items? Are action items tracked with deadlines and responsibility assignments? Are all records securely stored and easily retrievable for audits? Are previous meeting action items reviewed in subsequent meetings? Are overdue actions escalated or reassigned appropriately? Has there been evidence of improvements like reduced complaints, fewer NCs, or stronger compliance as a result of these meetings? And are meeting outputs linked to the annual management review? So once again, these are just examples of annual review assessment questions that you can adapt in your facility. You may also customize or develop your own assessment or annual review items tailored to your specific processes. Now let's take one annual review item as an example and see how compliance is demonstrated. For the question, does the facility have a documented meeting program that specifies monthly meetings? So you have here the instructions, the work instructions on how to make sure that this annual review item will be completed. First is to develop and maintain a documented meeting program. So this involves establishing and maintaining a written meeting program outlining frequency, participants, agenda topics, and responsibilities in line with BRCGS 1.1.5. So you need to have your meeting program document in controlled copy, version controlled meeting schedule, document approval and revision history, and controlled copy list and distribution lag. Next is to define scope and objectives of the meetings. So this can be done by defining the purpose of the meetings, like to review food safety, authenticity, legality, and quality issues, ensuring full compliance with BRCGS requirements. Next is to ensure inclusion in site calendar and management system. This involves integrating the monthly meeting schedule into the site's management system calendar, ensuring visibility to all departments and timely coordination. Then review and approve the meeting program. It includes having the documented program reviewed and approved by the senior management, like the QA manager or the site director, to confirm alignment with site governance processes. Periodically verify the program's implementation. So you need to conduct internal checks to ensure the meeting program is being followed um, through monthly meetings occurring as planned with full attendance and records maintained. So your artifacts and records includes internal verification checklist, meeting attendance log, monthly meeting reports and minutes or compliance monitoring tracker. Then you need to update the program as needed. This can be done by reviewing and revising the meeting program annually or as needed, like if there's a change in structure, scope, or frequency. This is to ensure that ongoing compliance and effectiveness are maintained. So you have to complete the program revision history, change control form, updated version release note, or QA or compliance coordinator review lag. Then finally, maintain program for audit readiness. This can be done by storing the current and previous versions of the meeting program in the compliance record system for review during internal and external audits. So to complete this specific assessment, we've uploaded a sample of an evidence of compliance in the form of communication meeting program record. So let's take a look at this document. So this record shows evidence of compliance uh, with BRCGS 1.1.5 or communication meetings, confirming that the facility has a documented and implemented meeting program specifying monthly meetings for key departments, including QA and food safety team, production, maintenance, and warehouse and logistics. It also demonstrates that regular communication is maintained across all areas with documented agenda, minutes, and follow-up actions to ensure that food safety, quality, and operational issues are consistently reviewed, addressed, and communicated throughout the organization. So then again, your goal is to provide evidence of compliance like this one to turn the status of your annual review questionnaire from no to yes to help you measure compliance progress while also preparing your facility for both internal and external BRCGS certification audits. At this point, you may now post your questions in the chat box. So please note that all questions and inquiries will be reviewed to ensure that each question is properly addressed. We will cover these questions in detail during next week's training session. In the meantime, while some of you are typing your questions, we also invite you to join our other free certification familiarization training session held every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Central Time. Topics to be discussed include FSSC 22000 certification, SQF certification, FDA Food Code, Foreign Supplier Verification Program or FSVP compliance, and 21 CFR Parts 117 and 111 compliance or CGMP for human food and dietary supplements. You may also schedule a one-on-one BRCGS coaching session for personalized guidance on implementing and maintaining compliance with your site's BRCGS requirements. Now let's check the message box to see if there are any questions that were raised. And it seems there are no questions at the moment. So this concludes our training session on BRCGS 1.1.5 communication meetings. Your training certificates will be sent directly to your registered email addresses. We also invite you to join us again next week as we discuss our next topic, confidential reporting system. For those who haven't yet completed the free certification familiarization sign-up form, we encourage you to do so, and please indicate your interest in receiving a 90-day free BRCGS certification management software. The software provides access to the compliance dashboard, training management tools, customer and supplier requirements management, and digitized forms, ideal for those transitioning from paper-based to a paperless system. If you have any questions, clarifications, or feedback regarding today's training, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at hello@consultareinc.com. Thank you for your participation, and we wish you a pleasant day ahead.